You are the worst match I have ever seen, and you can't do anything. You don't even deserve to be here. And he said कि रहने को तुमसे कुछ नहीं हो पाएगा, अगर बॉयज का ग्रुप होता तो ये अभी कितने 5 सेकंड में हो जाता, ऐसा ऐसा उन्होंने बोला कि अच्छा तो कॉबलर को भी एमएसपी मिलना चाहिए, फिर तो वेजिटेबल वाले को भी एमएसपी मिलना चाहिए, ऑल सच थिंग्स ही सेड, एंड आई वाज जस्ट ठीक है, just don't carry any other idea from, any perceived idea, just go and listen to the instructions, because I think that those instructions are very necessary. Whatever he says, na, ki just do this, just follow this. Because I'm doing job also, so it was a bit difficult for me to find the time to do all the stuff. So I just practiced for like 2 or 3 days for OIR.
Okay, hello everyone. How are you all? Today I have Neha with me. Neha has recently got recommended from Bangalore, where this is me, and she got recommended in first round. So today she is with her. She is with us to share her experiences. Hello Neha, how are you? Welcome.
Hi,
Okay,
I'm good.
Neha, could you please tell about yourself, like your SSB journey and before that?
Yeah. Like this was my first SSB in the 12 SSB Bangalore, and before that I have two more SSB, but due to some reasons I just missed those SSB. So it was a fresher attempt for me. So that's it.
Okay, Neha, means before you are going through which entry, means it is CDS or some direct entry.
No. Actually, it was the direct entry for Navy. It was a
Okay,
direct entry. There is no return for this entry. They just wanted engineering graduate for this.
what have you done in screening, like, and how your coaching with Major Kandal sir help you, or Major General Kandal sir, how it does help you, and would you like to recommend it to someone else as well?
Yeah. So the first day I would say for the SSB was the screening part only. So talking about my experience to the SSB, like I was very chill. I didn't came here for the recommendation. It was just in my mind that okay, so I have to give the SSB, as I just wanted to take the experience of the SSB, like how it is actually conducted, what all tasks are there. Though I have got some of the ideas from this sir, but when we do things by ourselves now, then only we get to know the things. So I was very chill for this attempt. Since I was the fresher, so I don't have a lot of ideas in my mind. I just went there and just gave. So talking about my screening part, so we were about 80 girls there for the screening, and like screening is conducted. The first test is OIR. There were two sets of OIR, each one of around. The first one was for 25 minutes. We were given 25 minutes, and for the other one, we were given 30 minutes. So the first one was a bit easier, I would say, and the second one was a bit tougher for me. And the reason being because I have not practiced a lot. As I told you, na, I just went. I didn't
Exactly.
practice much before my SSB because I'm doing job also. So it was a bit difficult for me to find the time to do all the stuff. So I just practiced for like 2 or 3 days for OIR. So I just talking about my OIR. So the first one was good, I would say. The talking about second one, it was not that good because I left some of the questions. It was bit tougher from the first one compared to the first one. So my OI was like I would say medium, as I thought everyone was saying that their OIR was very good. So I was like, कि, okay, my मेरा अच्छा नहीं है. So I was like, कि, ठीक है देखते हैं, whatever will happen, we will see. So the next test was PPDT, picture perception and description test. So the picture shown to us, there was a picture in which there were three people, and I could see their back, and in that picture there were it was a what I perceived in the picture is it was like a library, because there were many books in back of the picture. So I perceived it as a library, and there were three characters. Many in my group, like they perceived it as a shop because they perceived that there was a shutter in it, but I didn't saw such things and shutter and all, so I just perceived it as a library. Now so the picture was shown, and we have to write all those things, how many characters, the mood of the character, the mood of your main person who is the main character. So I wrote a very simple story. I framed my story like there was a boy who has to submit he's in the last year of the college, final year engineering graduate. So he has to make the project with the team members. So he's just making the projects. He divided the work among its peers, and like that he managed completing his project on time. So this was my simple story I just constructed. So hence the this part was done. Now comes the part of the discussion part of the picture. So we were called. So there were three groups. We all were divided in three, I think four groups. And in my group there were 10 people. We all were freshers. So when we called in and we just sat, and he said that we have to convey our story in just 1 minute. So everyone like told their story in 1 minute. I also told it in 1 minute. After that, there was discussion. Now coming to the discussion part, as everyone says that there is a fresh market in it, but in our discussion, from starting it was a fish market. So I just waited. Okay, let the uh, things get them slowly down. So after some time I started speaking about my ideas. So in most of the people were like that it was a picture of library, and some were saying that it was a shop. So I said this one point in very starting, that since all of us have perceived as a library, so it's better to construct the story around library only. So so the discussion was healthy, like I would say it was healthy. And there was not much fish market because we all was
Yeah,
freshers, and
that's
everyone
exactly.
has their points.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the
everyone
reason.
has their points. And yeah. Actually I would say that it was good. I was able to give so many ideas. And then coming to the conclusion, so in conclusion part, what happens in our group, that the one girl suddenly says ki, okay, the girl, there was a girl who was sitting, so she said ki, okay, chess number this will narrate the story. And we were like, how she can decide ki only this chess number will. But since she has said so, we all agree ki, okay, no problem. So she just concluded the story. Our story was like ki, there was a group project, and they made planning and all. They made project on these farming using pesticides in farming, about their what all happened due to using these pesticides and all. So this was the story we framed.
Okay,
So it
Neha.
was
Yeah, one thing I
yeah.
would like to say. Actually, it happens very rarely that a common group story is coming. It
Yeah.
means in boys or even
Yeah.
in repeaters group in girls. I don't think the common
Yeah.
story is going to come. But in your group, as
Yeah.
it is freshers, so that's
Huh.
why that's the
Yeah.
reason for that the common story has
Yeah.
come out.
Like everyone agreed on others' idea. No
Yeah,
one was like, no, just take my idea. Everyone was like, okay, if everyone is agreeing on this point, so we can take this point. So it was good. I think I was lucky enough to have a good group. So out of that group, it was a fresher group. So around how many? Around 3 people. Huh? From my group, 3 people were screened in.
okay.
So and total out of 80, 27 was screened
The
in.
screen.
So that, yeah. So that was the like screening part over. The second day it was psych test.
Psychology test.
So yeah, psychology test. So
Okay,
talking
Neha,
about that,
before this, I would like to
hmm,
ask you a question. For psychology, do you prepare from somewhere? Like you have practiced
no,
before that, like you have practiced for
no.
TAT, you have practiced of making stories, you have practiced for VAT, SRTs. Is it
Yeah,
something like that?
for this now, I would say I haven't, very rigorously, I haven't practiced. I'm saying this very truthful because the thing is, yeah, I was not having that much time. As I said, ki I was doing the job now, and I just went and I had just gave. I didn't even went, for the recommendation, I would say. So I didn't practice that much. But the thing is, like, I have practiced very less just to check whether I am able to write the story in those 4 minutes or not. And sometimes I was able to write, sometimes I was not even getting the idea what to write. I was very much confused. But the thing was na, I was not practicing it like daily, and very, I have practiced very less, I would say this. So when I went there na, this was the thing in my mind ki, since I haven't practiced, so I won't be able to write stories in 4 minutes. But then I thought ki, okay, we will see what will happen there.
Okay, yeah.
So when the psychology test started now, so the that psychologist was very nice person. He gave very clear instructions. I would say just follow those instructions. Do not just don't carry any other idea from any perceived idea. Just go and listen to the instructions, because I think that those instructions are very necessary. Whatever he says na, ki just do this, just follow this, because I did that only. So the psychologist said the first one was thematic perception test,
Yes.
in which 12 stories were there. 11 were all the pictures were shown, and the 12th one was the
Right.
blank story. So like when my first picture came now, so I just saw, and I saw the picture, and then I thought ki, okay, where I am in the picture. And suddenly na mind will give you some output
Idea.
based on
Yes.
that. Ki, where are you in the picture, what are you doing, and if you are doing now, why you are doing. And I think this idea I have learned from sir only, because if you are there in the picture, just search for where you are standing in that picture and what you are doing. And if I am there na, so I would have, I am a good person, so I would have the good ideas in my mind, I would be there for something to do. So that was the idea. So I just saw the pictures and wrote. I didn't even thought कि okay क्या होगा और क्या लिख सकती हूँ मैं, ज़्यादा नहीं सोचा. Whatever just came my mind, I just wrote it. And like I was very shocked even after giving my psychology. I was also shocked ki how I could manage to write, because I was able to write the story in just 3 minutes, and literally I was waiting for ki okay next picture kab aayegi. So I
Yeah,
don't know
that's
how it happened.
you are in a flow at that time, so that's why.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
Neha, अगर
So
मैं ये पूछूं कि like how would you rate the psychology of major general candidates? Means the psychology whole psychology test or series there in the coaching in the training academy of major general candidates. Now, how would you rate it?
यार आई डोंट नो अबाउट रेटिंग, बट आई वुड से कि सो जो सर बेसिक बेसिक चीजें बताते हैं ना, वो सबसे ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट होती है. इट्स नॉट अबाउट एसएसबी, इट्स अबाउट योर लाइफ, और यही से सबसे अच्छी है सर की. बिकॉज वो कभी भी प्रैक्टिस नहीं करवाएंगे तुम्हें, और आई वुड से कि कभी प्रैक्टिस नहीं करवानी चाहिए. बिकॉज अगर इफ आई हैव डन द प्रैक्टिस ना, देन आई विल राइट दो स्टोरीज ओनली. मैं उन स्टोरीज को जबरदस्ती उनमें घुसाऊंगी जो मैंने पहले प्रैक्टिस किया हुआ है. अगर मैं प्रैक्टिस नहीं करूंगी तो मैं सच में एक रियल स्टोरी बना पाऊंगी इस टाइम पर. अगर मैंने पहले से ही सब कुछ प्रैक्टिस कर रखा है ना, तो मैं उन्हीं स्टोरीज को अपनी जो भी पिक्चर आएगी ना उस पर घुसाने की कोशिश करूंगी, जो कि दिखेगा कि इट्स नॉट रियल. सो दैट्स द मेन थिंग. इसीलिए वो जो सर है वो यही बोलते हैं कि प्रैक्टिस मत करो, बस ये है कि अपने आप को एक अच्छा इंसान बनाओ. बी अ गुड
Yes.
लीडर, प्रॉब्लम सॉल्वर. सो दैट्स इट. आई फॉलोड दैट ओनली
For
कि
that.
अगर मैं स्टोरी में हूँ. So talking about the vet, yeah, vets is a very challenging test. Just in
Okay, how do
like
you
the
deal with it?
word came, I would say like when I saw the word, I just wrote it whatever just came in my mind. I didn't, took very much time to think and then write, because we don't have that time. It's a time-based test. We can't just think a lot and then write. Otherwise, we will lose all other words.
Exactly, because
Yeah.
very
So
less time to think.
वेरी लेस टाइम, वेरी लेस टाइम. सो जैसी वर्ड आया कि हाँ हैप्पी, तो मैंने लिख दिया. मैंने ज्यादा सोचा नहीं.
Okay.
दैट्स इट.
Neha,
बैटमैन यू डोंट
can we
हैव
do a
टाइम.
small type of mini test? Like I will give a word, like I will give the word one by one, and you will just tell me the first thought that is coming in your mind.
हाँ वी
Okay.
कैन डू.
Okay. Now the first one, time.
हाँ, टाइम मैनेजमेंट will definitely give you success. Like time management, I would relate with success. If you
Okay.
are managing your time, then
Proper
it will
time
give you success.
management gives success. Like this. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Like
Second.
I would construct
Okay. Okay.
time
Yeah.
management.
Okay. Second one is change.
changes are very necessary, I would say, for life.
Okay, third one
Changes,
is
give.
yeah.
Yeah.
Continue.
No, I was saying कि change, for change, तो I just thought कि change क्यों चाहिए. Change will give you a lot of learnings. So change is also related to learnings and all.
Okay, you
वो
are
उस टाइम
relating
पर
change with
एकदम हो
learning.
जाता है. या.
उस टाइम पे हाँ यार एग्जैक्टली और एक तो टाइम प्रेशर ऐसा होता है बहुत से वर्ड्स के साथ ऐसा होता है लाइक कोई नेगेटिव वर्ड ओके आई विल गिव यू अ नेगेटिव वर्ड एक्सीडेंट
एक्सीडेंट. एक्सीडेंट में आई वुड से कि प्रिवेंशंस कैन व्हाट आई वुड से कि अगर हम उसको पहले से तैयार रहेंगे किसी चीज के लिए तो वी कैन जस्ट प्रिवेंट दोस एक्सीडेंट्स. और क्या
केयरफुलनेस
बना
कैन
सकते हैं.
केयरफुलनेस
हाँ
कैन
हाँ
प्रिवेंट
हाँ.
ओके
लाइक व्हाट के लिए मेरा बेसिक आइडिया बस इतना सा है कि अगर जो पॉजिटिव है, जो भी वर्ड है, लाइक हार्ड वर्क, तो हार्ड वर्क क्यों करना है हमें, इसके पीछे कुछ ना कुछ रीजन तो होगा ना कि अगर हम हार्ड वर्क करेंगे तो हमें सक्सेस मिलेगी. सो बस. और हार्ड वर्क क्यों करना चाहिए, तो हर चीज का कि क्यों और कैसे, जो कि आई वुड से कि सर यही बोलते हैं. और कोई नेगेटिव सेंटेंस है तो क्यों नहीं. लाइक हमें सेल्फिश, लाइक इफ यू से कि सेल्फिश, तो व्हाई हमें सेल्फिश नहीं होना चाहिए. क्योंकि अगर इफ वी आर सेल्फिश देन वी विल बी अलोन, वी विल नॉट बी हैविंग एनी फ्रेंड्स.
एग्जैक्टली
सो इट विल अफेक्ट दैट. सो ये था मेरा बेसिक आइडिया. अब उस टाइम पर कितना मैंने उस चीज को फॉलो किया तो मुझे खुद को भी नहीं पता.
okay then after that SRT in SRTs how many you attend how many
I
SRTs
attempted 54.
54 SRTs okay
Yeah.
that's a very large number so could you please tell your way of writing how do you write it because 54 is a very large number.
Yeah. Even I don't know how I just wrote 54. After giving my SRT, everyone was like, we just wrote 36, 40. And I was like, okay. So I have done very large
54
amount. The simple thing was कि when I saw the situation ना, I just thought कि अगर ये situation होगी तो मैं इसको कैसे deal करूँगी. The simple thing. ज़्यादा सोचोगे तो ज़्यादा time लगेगा. इतना time है नहीं हमारे पास. तो अगर कोई भी सिचुएशन और जो सिचुएशंस है ना वो बाद में रिपीट भी होती हैं, तो उन सिचुएशंस को ज्यादा समझना या करने का कुछ हुई नहीं है. तुमने ऑलरेडी वो चीज लिख चुकी है. यू ऑलरेडी रिटन ऑल दोस एसआरटीज, यू जस्ट हैव टू राइट. तो अगर कोई भी एसआरटी आ रही है तो बस मैं यही सोच रही थी कि अगर इस सिचुएशन में मैं होंगी तो क्या करूंगी, जस्ट इन अ वेरी सिंपल शॉर्ट वर्ड्स. कि अगर मान लो जैसे कि बहुत एक कॉमन एसआरटी यही थी कि एक लड़का और एक लड़की हैं, दे वांट टू मैरी और वो लोग अलग रिलीजन से हैं. सो व्हाट विल यू डू. सो आई जस्ट रोट कि फर्स्ट व्हाट आई विल अचीव, मैं करूंगी क्या. सो फर्स्ट थिंग इज कि दे विल मैरी. हाउ दे विल मैरी, बाय कन्विंसिंग देयर पेरेंट्स. दैट्स इट. अब इसमें मैं और क्या लिखूंगी. तो बस ऐसे शॉर्ट चीजें.
Exactly. Okay, Neha, actually, I would like to ask you a question. Do you read the Vinay sir PDF? It's Vinay sir PDF.
No.
Okay, actually, he is also the ex-student of Major General Kanda sir, and he has written all those
Okay.
things. Like first write the aim in SRT. Like you said, na, we will first marry. So first write the aim, then write the actions. How?
या.
So yeah, he
हाउ
has written all those
एग्जैक्टली.
things.
तो
Very clear.
सर यही बोलते हैं हमेशा कि यू शुड हैव अ एम ना. इफ यू हैव एम सोल्यूशन अपने आप आ जाएगा. तो अगर मेरे पास ये एसआरटी आई है कि ये है तो मुझे सबसे पहले सोचना पड़ा कि इसका आउटकम क्या होगा, कि अगर कुछ है तो वो क्यों है. तो दैट्स इट. आई जस्ट फॉलो द बेसिक सिंपल. सर की कोचिंग ना इट्स नॉट फॉर एसएसबी.
It's for life.
it's very different. Yeah, it's for life. It's for life, yeah, I would say.
Okay, so first write the outcome. If you will write this outcome, then this for this answer
Solution
the
will come
solutions.
definitely.
Yeah, answers will automatically. Okay, for SG, have you prepared it from your home or you write there
Like
immediately at the spot?
for my parents na, I have prepared for my parents only. I just got the time to prepare for my parents only, so I just wrote that only. And others I wrote at that time only. I haven't prepared. Like before one day na, when we all got screening, everyone was like कि चलो self description रट रहे थे. People were just remembering कि okay we have to write this, and I was like कि ठीक है वहाँ जो होगा वो देखा जाएगा, उसी टाइम लिख लेंगे. Because यार पता ही है हमें चीजें कि what since I was working, so the psychologist said कि who all are working they have to write कि what their employer thinks, what your employees thinks about, like colleagues, sorry, I would not say employees, colleagues thinks about you, your parents, and what you what are your aspirations, and the last thing what ki ha, what you want to
Become,
achieve.
yeah, achieve,
So
yes.
there was a slight difference. मतलब द रिपीटर्स लाइक उन्होंने सिर्फ 5 चीजें बोली थी, बट रिपीटर जो थे ना, दे रोट 6 कॉलम्स. सो आफ्टर दिस टेस्ट ना, ही आस्क्ड कि why people were writing those 6 headings. I have just told only 5, so there was a confusion. So this is what I say ki just listen to the instructions, because people have so many preconceived ideas. So it's very important that we follow those instructions.
Okay, Neha, that's the end of psychology test. And your interview was on second day on the same day of psychology test
No,
or on
no.
the other day?
My interview was on fourth day.
Okay. So how was it? Yes.
Interview यार, I would say it's very nice. मतलब ठीक था, अच्छा था. I would say I really enjoyed my interview. It was not like a interview. I didn't felt at any time कि it was my interview. It was just like a normal conversation with my friend. That's it.
And in interview, like कुछ जीके के सवाल ज़्यादा पूछे तुमसे या
Like in interview, the normal questions first, he just asked you from where you have came here, how you came, and all those about my education, my family relations, my friends, teachers, the basic questions that are framed already for interview. And apart from them, since I was a graduate of chemical engineering, so he was more interested in that. So he asked some of the questions of chemical, and I might not be able to answer all of them since I have left that field. I have joined the IT field. So, but yeah, some of the question I was able to answer, and most of them I was not able to answer. And after that, like it was my interview was basically on my life only. Whatever I have written in my PIQ, na, my interview was that only.
okay,
And for others, he have asked about like current affairs and all. For me, he just asked only two current affairs since I was from the Aligarh. So he just told me ki, okay, Aligarh was in the news, so can you tell why the city was in news. So I just told about the defense corridor and all. Then he told ki, and I also said ki there are many riots in the city. So he said ki, okay, can you tell me the reason? So I just told the reason about. So he then asked me about ki, acha, abhi recently there was a Gyan Vapi issue. So he told me to explain that. So I explained it. Then he asked about the Nupu Sharma case and all. So and Udaipur, whatever happened in that. So I just explained that, and then after that, na, he didn't ask me even a single question. I was like, I want कि हाँ पूछ लो मुझसे पूछ लो इंटरनेशनल ये, but no, he didn't ask me all those things because वो लोग बहुत तेज होते हैं, उन्हें सब पता होता है कि कहाँ पर ये
हाँ
पीछे है,
हम
कहाँ आ
एग्जैक्टली
गया है.
यस यस एग्जैक्टली मैं इस बात से एग्री करूंगा. अगर उन्हें लगेगा कि इस पॉइंट पे ये नहीं फंसेगा या नहीं फंसेगी तो वो वहाँ पे नहीं पूछेंगे.
हाँ,
वो उसी
नहीं
पॉइंट से
पूछते.
पूछेंगे
So
कि आ जाओ. हाँ बिल्कुल.
exactly, उन्हें समझ आ गया था because I've written a reading in my hobbies. So he asked me कि reading में, so I just said कि daily थोड़ा सा time निकाल के थोड़ा बहुत reading कर लेती हूँ newspaper. So after he asked these, and उसके बाद कुछ भी नहीं पूछा उन्होंने मुझसे, कुछ नहीं
ओके
पूछा, इंटरनेशनल भी नहीं.
ओके इट्स गुड. देन GTU हाउ विल यू रेट इट? अच्छा GTU से पहले इंटरव्यू में नेहा could you please tell मेजर जनरल कांडा सर ने इंटरव्यू लिया होगा तुम्हारा. सो
नहीं, मेरा एक्चुअली नहीं हो पाया था.
ओके
But मैंने I have seen the interview of the people, like he have taken the interview of others, so I have seen and it was very similar, I would say, very similar. How he asked na, it's very similar.
और वो सबका जब भी इंटरव्यू लेते हैं तो ही कॉल ऑल दी पीपल यस ना सारे लोग उसको देख सकते हैं
हाँ,
इंटरव्यू.
हाँ, सब लोग देख सकते हैं उसे.
ओके वहाँ से और भी ज़्यादा मिस्टेक्स पता चलती होंगी कि हाँ यार हम भी ऐसे मिस्टेक करते
हाँ,
हैं इधर.
exactly. That's very helpful.
Okay, Neha, then let's come to the GTO. You have visited offline coaching as well?
No,
Only
no,
online.
no. I have just taken online. So for me, GTO part was something that I didn't have any idea. Like for me, GTO was I was very nil in this GTO part. apart from these lecturate and GD, like the ground tasks, I didn't have any idea कि अच्छा क्या करते हैं, कैसे रस्सी फट्टा बल्ली. I was not aware of that.
Okay, how do you deal with
So
PGT then?
PGT was the first task. So since we all were fresher na, so we have no idea how to start. And my GTO was very strict. I would say बहुत strict थे मेरी GTO. So we went there and उन्होंने दे दिया, explain कर दिया, and we started. But we were not getting idea since all were freshers and no one has really no idea. So we anyhow we were trying, but my GTO came and said, तुम लोग ये नहीं कर पाए अभी तक, रहने दो, leave it, you can't do it, you are the worst batch I have ever seen and you can't do anything, you don't even deserve to be here. एंड ही सेड कि रहने तो तुमसे कुछ नहीं हो पाएगा, अगर बॉयज का ग्रुप होता तो ये अभी कितने 5 सेकंड में हो जाता, ऐसा वैसा उन्होंने बोला. सो वी वर लाइक ओके ऐसा है मतलब नहीं. फिर उन्होंने नेक्स्ट दिया प्रोग्रेसिव ग्रुप टास्क में. somehow we managed to do that, but the GTO was not happy क्योंकि उसमें भी we took a lot of time, very much time. So the PGT was not good at all, I would say. Then comes the HGT, half group task, and half group task was good because when we were in the group of 10 ना, so there was कि everyone was giving ideas और मतलब बहुत हौच पौच हो रहा था वहाँ पे और किसी के आइडियाज नहीं ले पा रहे थे, मतलब बहुत मिसमैनेज मैनेजमेंट हो रहा था वहाँ पे. So in HGT what happens na ki the group divided and we were just five people there. So it was more easier to do the task. So when we just went there and he told us कि यहाँ से यहाँ आना है, and in just 5 seconds ना we completed it. In just 5 seconds HGT खत्म हो गया total पूरा. 2 task थे उसमें दोनों खत्म हो गए. It was maybe it was easier or I don't know, it was easier maybe, but हाँ HGT हो गया अच्छे से. And before that there were GD. So the like my GD started with GD only. The first GD was on ki how India can achieve its position in United Nations. The first, it was a healthy GD, everyone was able to give their points on this and there was no fish market. Everyone was able to convey their ideas. The second one was key on the media, that whether media is having the good impact or the bad impact. It was based on that, so it was also good. So what happens now, our GD 2 GDs were over and my GTO started ki okay we will have one more GD. And that was because in both the GD what happens, everyone was in the favor of the things, like especially for media I would say, everyone was ki favor ki ha media is doing a good job and whatever positive things and all. So I think due to that, I don't know, for that he said ki we will have one more GD on farm laws. In that GD what happens, everyone was ki okay farm laws are very good, very good, very good, very good, yeah, and no one was having any reason ki why they are good and all. So and I was like ki no they were not good, since it's an opinion, so I just said ki no it was not good and these all are the reasons. So my GTO told ki who is supporting. So in my group out of 10, 9 was supporting and I was the only one who was not supporting. So there was a direct interaction between me and my GTO. He said ki okay why do you think this all फलाना ठिकाना जो भी. And my GTO said कि कभी-कभी मुझे लगता है कि हाँ they are good और कभी-कभी मुझे लगता है कि they are bad. And then I said कि MSP and all the things. So he said कि अच्छा तो cobbler को भी MSP मिलना चाहिए, फिर तो vegetable वाले को भी MSP मिलना चाहिए. All such things he said and I was just कि ठीक है देखते हैं अब क्या ही बोल सकती थी मैं. Whatever just came in my mind, I just said कि ऐसा ऐसा, that's the reason why I'm thinking that it is not good. So that was the GD. Coming after that there was a GP. In GP like there was a situation, but what happens in our group na, everyone perceived very wrong position of the group because there was a confusion from where we have to start. So uski wajah se my GP was not that good, but yeah I took part in the group discussion and I think group discussion was okay for the GP. But after that ना GTO said कि तुम लोगों ने तो पोजीशन ही गलत चूज की उन लोगों की जहाँ से भी वो शुरू होना था. So ठीक है वो हो गया.
Okay, how was your command task?
Command command task my worst. I would say very bad, very bad. Because what happened, I was the last chest number in my group. For 27 girls, I was the 27 chest number. So I was the last person in my group to have the command task. When I went there, two people called me for their command task, and their command task was bit simple, I would say. They were getting ideas very easily. When I went now, I was not able to get idea कि कैसे करूँ, समझ ही नहीं आ रहा था. I could not ask from my subordinates because he said ki they are just help, they are just like a helping material for
Yeah,
you. You
exactly.
can't talk with them. You just have to do by its own. So I was not getting ideas. बहुत try किया and my tutor was like, you're very poor, you're very bad, you can't do this. And he said in the end, he said ki okay, only 10 seconds are left. He didn't even give me 10 seconds. In just 2 seconds, he said ki okay, 2 seconds are left. And somehow in last minute I was able to do, but I was not happy because it was not good. And when I was going he said ki very bad.
Actually, I think
So
he's
I would
creating,
say,
yeah, he's creating pressure on you because your
yeah,
performance on
yeah,
the previous task are good. So that's why he's creating pressure on you.
maybe. But after completing that task मुझे ऐसा लगा कि that was easier. But I don't know उस time क्यों starting में मुझे idea नहीं आ रहा था, जो भी है. But finally
और
हो
कमांड
गया.
टास्क में एक बहुत अच्छी बात ये होती है ना यार, जब हमें कोई और सबॉर्डिनेट्स के रूप में बुलाता है तो उनके उसमें हमें बहुत अच्छे से आइडियाज माइंड में आते हैं। यार मैं होता तो
हाँ,
इसको ऐसे कर लेता, इसको ऐसे कर लेता। बट
हाँ, हाँ.
व्हेन वी गो एज अ कमांडर, सो इट इज वेरी डिफिकल्ट फॉर अस टू गिव एन आइडिया,
To
है ना?
decide. Actually it was difficult. मुझे समझ ही नहीं आ रहा था कैसे करूँ. I was thinking, but उस टाइम पर जो प्रेशर रहता है, it's very different level.
Okay. At the end, Neha, how many girls got recommended?
From my batch only two girls got recommended. One, I am the one, and other one was the repeater.
Okay, that's very good. And Neha, you are done with your medicals, any TR?
No, I'm fit.
Okay, then Neha, best of
Just
luck to
waiting for
you.
the merit.
Yeah, best of luck to you, Neha,
Yeah.
for your med. And I'm sure you will win
Thank
it.
you so much. Let's see. Yeah, it's can't say anything about that.
Okay, yeah, I'm sure you are not giving serious exam
Actually, I'm giving, but the thing is that I'm not able to clear the examination.
before.
Oh, my my interview, in my interview also he asked me what all exams you have given. One more thing, like about my conference, I would say. In my conference, they asked me like what would you like to do in future, what all exams you would like to give in those 6 months and all.
Yes, yes, continue.
And like if I talk about my conference, so I have to wait around and around 6 to 7 minutes, and I was like
Okay.
कि बुला लो जल्दी अब.
They are discussing.
बहुत वेट हो गया. Yeah, and it was like कि काफी ज्यादा वेट करवा रहे थे. So I was like कि अब बुला लो. Then I went there, and the first question was, he asked me about from where you have did your 10th, 12th, and graduation,
Mhm.
why you chose chemical engineering, and why you have chosen chemical, but still you're working in IT. So why this all happened? And then he asked me ki, okay, suppose if you are not able to get into these courses, so what you will do in your future plans, and what exam you will give in these 6 months. And then he started asking about my navy, since I was for the navy and my branch. He also asked me which branch you have come from, for which branch, what are his working. And since my branch is related to armaments, and also he started asking ki what all armaments did Indian navy have. So I told him many, but he was like ki more. Then I told him, then he was like, more. So there was a point na ki I was not able to say कि अब और कितना. So I said कि sir, I don't know.
Okay.
Then he just asked me about the food and stay, and he told me, he asked me कि what was the best thing in your SSB. So I just said कि yesterday I played, I learned to play table tennis in my life, so it was a good experience for me. So that's it. He said कि okay, thank you.
Okay, that's the end of the conference. Okay, Neha, we wish you best of luck for your marriage and for your future as well. And yeah,
Thank
dear,
you.
thank you very much for joining today.
Thank you.